students, so how are you feeling today? Okay, great. You're feeling well indeed. But before we begin our class, let's invite the presence of the Lord in our discussion for today. May I request student number 13 to please lead our prayer. The student's number 13 is done in his prayer. Thank you so much, student number 13. It's very well prayer. And now, may I ask, are you excited for our lesson for today? Alright, since everyone is so excited, can you please recall what was our topic yesterday? Alright, so our lessons yesterday was all about the addition and subtraction of fraction. For our lesson for today, it's quite similar with our last topic. But before I'll give you the proper lesson, let's now begin to our first activity. So in this activity, the instruction is inside the bond paper, and I want you to read that instruction and then do the observation. I am now distributing the instruction in the bond paper, and the students are now working silently on their activity. They are done in their activity, so the teacher is now collecting their bond paper, and then some of the representative of the groups are now presenting in front based on their observation of that activity. So the two groups are now done presenting. Alright class, so that's based on our activity. All of you quite done well in our activity based on our observations. So now, may I ask you a question? Based on your activity, what do you think is our lesson for today? Alright, yes, exactly correct. Our lesson for today is all about multiplication and division of fraction. And now, since you know our lessons, may I state our objectives right now, and I want all of you to please read our objectives. Okay. The students are now done. The students are now done reading the objectives, and they understand the objectives. Okay. So I want one of the representative, or maybe three, to please explain further or to elaborate our objectives to know if you really understood the objectives. The students are now reading and explaining objectives, and they understood the objectives. Okay, since now you know our objectives, if you see here, these are the rules of multiplication and division in fractions. And please read this and understand this, because this will be your guide for our next activity. The students are now reading the rule of multiplication and the rule of division, and then they elaborate and explain it based on their understanding. Okay, are you sure that you understood the rule of multiplication and the rule of division? Alright, since you understood it now, I will now distribute the second activity, which is the multiplication of fraction. And I will distribute you with a instruction in the bond paper, and remain in your two groups. And I want you, after answering the said activity, I want one presenter of each group to explain their answer and to present it in front. Do you understood our instruction, or I will elaborate it more for you? The students understood the instruction. Alright, I will distribute a paper sheet for you to answer on. The students are now answering the activity, which is all about multiplication of fraction. There are only 2 groups, and then they are now working. The students are done answering, and they now proceed in the presenting of their works, and they are now done in presenting. All right, all of you done quite well. So let's give each other a magic clap. 1, 2, 3, magic. All right, thank you so much. You now understood the solving of multiplication in fractions. And now, are you ready for our next activity? What do you think is our next activity? Oh, thank you very much. Our next activity is all about solving division of fraction. So the same to our instruction for the last activity. I will still group you in 2 groups and then answer the said activity, and I want another presenter of each group to explain and present their answer. And I want you to explain it, guys. Students rather. Okay. The teachers are now distributing the paper. The students are now answering the activity silently, and they are now presenting their work. They are now done presenting. Thank you so much, students. I didn't know that you learned quite so easy. Is this easy for you?
Yes.
All right. You're very, very genius, and you're so smart. And I expect that for you because that's what you did in our last activity. So, since all of you know how to multiply and divide fractions, now let's proceed to multiplication and division of fraction involving word problem. So, are you guys excited?
Yes.
The students are respond, and they said yes. All right. Woo, my students are so good. Okay. So, now I want also you to remain in the 2 groups, and I will distribute a bond paper for you to answer. And inside this bond paper, it has a word problem and the same to our last activity. I want 2 person on each group explain their answers. 1 for multiplication and 1 for division. I will give you 10 minutes for that activity for you to discuss also. Okay. The teachers are now distributing the bond paper for them to answer. The students are now done answering multiplication and division involving word problems, and they are now also done presenting their works in front. All right, thank you so much. Thank you guys for answering. You've done quite well. Because you've done so good, let's give ourselves a magic clap. 1, 2, 3, magic. All right. So, before we proceed to our next activity, may I know if there's one of you struggling in solving multiplication and division of fraction? The students said no, they're not struggling. Okay, so you're indeed a fast learners. So, before we're done in solving so much thing, now it's time for us to appreciate the usefulness of multiplication and division of fraction. Okay, so now let's proceed to our next activity, which is reflection in the usefulness of multiplication and division of fraction. I will this work individually, and then I will provide a bond paper for you to answer. So please remember to work silently and work individually. No cheating. So the teachers are now distributing bond paper to her students, and then they are now working individually. The teachers are now collecting their reflections, and then alright, so all of you are done in your reflections, and some of you wrote longer, which I really expected. And right now, I want 4 students to share their reflections in front. May I call student number 9, student number 13, student number 16, and student number 2 to please proceed in front to share your reflections. The first students are now done presenting their reflections. Thank you so much, guys. Let's give them a round of applause. Alright, so are you all happy with our lessons for today, our discussion for today? Did you learn something from our discussion?
Yes.
Alright, thank you very much. Thank you that you've listened and then you really participated in our discussion for today. Oh, so before we end this discussion, we are now done, and before we end this, let's have a quick prayer to be led by student number 9. Thank you so much, student number 9, for that quick prayer. And do not forget, guys, I sent the assignment on the Google Classroom. Please peruse that if you have the time. And let's do the checking to the next meeting. Thank you so much, guys. God bless. And please do remember that math is easy to learn when you learn it enthusiastically. Thank you so much, and God bless.